Good morning, Titans. This is Mr. Johnson, one of the deans of students at Todd High School. And I have put together a montage of some of our Black athletes who have shaped the history of their sport. Please take this journey with me and look at some of the most influential Americans who have paved the way for others. Jesse Owens. During the 1936 Berlin Olympics, Adolf Hitler attempted to use the Games as a showcase for his Third Reich and the supposed superiority of the Aryan race. Jesse Owens crushed that plan by winning 4 gold medals in the 100-meter sprint, the long jump, the 200-meter sprint, and the 4x100-meter relay. Muhammad Ali had already made his mark on the world by winning a gold medal in the 1960 Olympics, defeating a heavily favored Sonny Liston for the heavyweight title and converting to Islam and changing his name. But he became a true cultural icon when he refused to be drafted in the United States Army during the Vietnam War and was forced to give up his profession in his prime. "War is against the teachings of the Holy Koran," he said at the time. "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. They never called me the N-word." Jackie Robinson. As the man who broke the color barrier in what was then America's favorite sport, Robinson was one of the true forefathers of the American Civil Rights Movement. A multi-sport star at UCLA, Robinson won Rookie of the Year of Major League Baseball in 1947. He also won the National League MVP in 1949, and leading the perpetually second-place Dodgers to their lone World Series title in 1955. Althea Gibson. Before Venus and Serena Williams dominated the tennis court, there was Althea Gibson. As the first Black woman to compete on the World Tennis Tour and the first to win a Grand Slam in 1956, Althea was a true titan in a sport that was predominantly white both then and now. In total, she racked up 6 Grand Slam singles titles. After her retirement, she went on to become the New Jersey State Commissioner of Athletics before taking a position on the Governor's Council on Physical Fitness. Hank Aaron. During his run to the career home run record that stood for decades, Hank Aaron faced everything from simple racial harassment to death threats. All Aaron did during his playing days was be number 1 in career RBIs, number 3 in career hits, number 2 in career home runs, and number 4 in runs scored. Wilma Rudolph. No one paved the way for Black female track and field athletes quite like Wilma Rudolph. At a young age, Rudolph faced adversity when she was diagnosed with polio, but that didn't stop her from racking up 3 gold medals during the 1960 Olympics. Her performance compelled many young female teenagers to take an interest in track and field. A winner and inspiration, the embodiment of an icon. Bill Russell. Everyone knows how dominant Bill Russell was on the court, but little credit is given to the Hall of Famer for his coaching prowess. As a player coach, the first Black head coach in NBA history and professional sports, Russell led the Celtics to 2 championships in 3 years, bringing his ring total to 11. Curt Flood. When traded to the Philadelphia Phillies during the 1969 season, Curt Flood refused to report to the team because they wanted to decrease the amount of his contract. By taking a stand for what he believed in, the Major League Baseball implemented the 10-5 rule, which allows any player with 10 years of MLB service, the last 5 with the same team, to veto any trade. Although true free agency wasn't granted to players until years later, Flood took a stand and sacrificed his career so that today's ball players could make the millions they do. John Carlos and Tommy Smith. Usually, the Olympics are a time when all the world's problems cease to exist for a short while. But after winning the gold and bronze medals for the 200-meter dash, John Carlos and Tommy Smith used their time on the podium to address an issue that would not go away: the racial injustices blacks were facing in America. With a simple Black Power salute, Carlos and Smith were immediately suspended from the United States Olympic team and received death threats once they returned home. Years later, they're regarded as American heroes. Progression is a beautiful thing. Arthur Ashe. Till this day, Arthur Ashe remains the only African American male to win Wimbledon, the United States Open, or Australian Open. His contributions on the tennis court were just the beginning of his impact, though. He was a tireless spokesman for a variety of causes, including the American Civil Rights Movement and the push for equality for undocumented immigrants in the United States. Before his untimely death from AIDS in 1993, Ashe was also an advocate for HIV awareness. Magic Johnson. There will never be a point guard quite like Magic Johnson. Standing at 6'9", Magic dominated his position and set an unattainable precedent in the NBA. But his play on the court pales in comparison to the work he's done off of it when he became one of the first publicly HIV-positive celebrities. Since he was diagnosed with the virus, Johnson has become a staunch supporter for HIV prevention and safe sex. Michael Jordan. Do we really need to tell you guys why Michael Jordan is on this list? Besides being regarded as one of the best to ever play the game, he also played a key role in putting the Nike Corporation on the map, which became worth $1 billion in 2009. The world's most recognizable athlete has a legacy that stretches far beyond sports. Jackie Joyner Kersee. In an area where immediate success gets followed by queries over performance-enhancing drugs, there were no questions surrounding Jackie Joyner Kersee. As a six-time Olympic gold medalist and star basketball player for UCLA, Joyner Kersee was one of the best to do it. Since leaving the game, the runner has made strides off the track by starting the Jackie Joyner Kersee Foundation, which provides athletic resources to at-risk families in the St. Louis area. Tony Dungy and Lovie Smith. Super Bowl 21 marked an important day in the NFL history. It was the first time that two black head coaches were in a Super Bowl. The game put to lie the racist theory that African Americans couldn't be successful coaches. Now, if athletic directors would only get the memo, of the 120 Division I programs, fewer than 20 have black head coaches. John Amaechi. John Amaechi may not be remembered for his contributions on the court, but we did off of it will define his legacy. In February 2007, after retiring from the NBA, Amaechi came out and told the world that he was gay. While receiving a fair share of support and criticism, he effectively paved the way for any other athletes that feared the repercussions for their sexual orientation, and it was all because of one brave former player. Colin Kaepernick. Kneeling like this was the first popularized in the United States in 2016 by the NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick began his protest against systemic racism and police brutality by sitting on the bench rather than standing during the pregame rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner when he played for the San Francisco 49ers. Kaepernick's career and his chance to etch his name into NFL's record books was taken from him. In response to his protest, the owners of the 32 NFL teams effectively colluded to keep him and his teammate Eric Reid out of the league.